Andrew Callin, A&B Insurance, Senior Benefits Specialist, to get to know him a little bit better, ask him a few questions. Thanks for being with us here today.
Hey, my pleasure this afternoon.
It's good to see you. Let's just jump right in. How long have you been with A&B?
So I've been with A&B about 3 years now.
Okay. And where were you before?
So I was doing more like accounting, controller work, for a small company, small dental lab.
Oh, okay. So your background is sort of in finance?
I have a background in finance. I did some insurance before that. So I've done a number of different things throughout my career.
That's interesting. How has your finance background benefited you and in turn benefited your clients in terms of health insurance?
Good question. So like I'm a numbers guy. I'm not a flashy sales guy. I'm not a high pressure sales guy. I'm more of a numbers guy. So to me, I like to look at the dollars and cents and make sure that we're doing the right thing for the customer.
How do you start out with the customer? Do you start out with a monthly budget maybe, or when you start to talk premiums and things? How does that conversation kind of sound?
So, everyone's a little different.
Right.
I like to try and get a feel for what they're looking for. And not just, money's important, of course. Money's important to all of us. Mm-hmm. But you also have to know what type of coverage that they're looking for. We can make things as cheap as they want, but then the deductible goes up. And you have to be really careful what you really do to somebody at the end of the day.
It's really a process in balancing the benefits and the premium.
It is.
And really the whole package in terms of deductibles and copays. How do you go about that? What's your strategy?
So what I like to do is I like to ask them, do you have like a target premium or dollar amount that you're comfortable with spending on a monthly basis? Because we don't want to sign up for 1 month or 2 months and find out that they can't afford it any longer. So we find out somewhere in the middle, and then I like to show them something near that number, and then also something a little bit better, and also something a little bit more affordable. So now they have a range, and it also helps to educate them a little bit, because now they can see, well, if I want to save some money,
right,
this is what I'm giving up in terms of benefits or the level of deductible, co-insurance, those types of things.
So that's the process. You're going to start with a number.
We're going to start with
a comfortable number, and then sort of look at above and below and find somewhere in the middle.
And most of my customers I work with over a period of time. Very rarely do I talk to somebody and within 5 minutes they're signing up. I like to get to know them a bit better.
Right.
I send them some information. We work back and forth. I know there's this thing in sales that we should, try and get them to sign up right away because you could lose them. But I find the people that I work with tend to stay with me for years and years.
That's every really good sales consultant's goal in the end, isn't it? To have a
solid core of regular customers that come back, refer their friends, family members. That's really what I'm looking for.
And how do you build rapport and trust in 5 minutes?
It doesn't happen.
It's impossible,
so often,
right?
Right.
Talk about some of the other products before we sort of get to. I wanted to ask you some questions about healthcare reform as well. But can you talk a little bit about the other products offered at A&B, the life insurance and the critical illness and those types?
We start with our basic health insurance, but really to protect someone properly, you really need like a rounded out product portfolio. And A&B has just almost an unlimited number of companies that we can tap into, and that's a great thing that the agency does for us. So like on the critical illness side, if you ever look at the statistics, it's really staggering how many people in their lifetime will be developed, diagnosed with cancer. Heart and stroke isn't far behind that. And even in my family alone, my wife had breast cancer 5 years ago. Fortunate that she caught it early. Blue Cross was there every step of the way for us. But to have a critical illness plan behind that pays you a lump sum of money, that money for so many people is can save their house, can pay for all their medical bills. It's a life changer. And in your 40s, you can get a $20,000 plan for less than $20 a month. And most of us can find a way to afford $20. We're not talking hundreds of dollars. It's something that's truly affordable.
And putting your finance cap on, again, it really makes sound, secure financial sense to look into these other ancillary products, doesn't it?
A couple $100 a year, and you could get, $20,000, $25,000 cash, lump sum to you to do whatever you need. And there are medical bills, but some people can't go to work every day, and then there's all the other things that you just don't know about until you've actually been through it personally.
And we're talking about the majority of families in this country dual income.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
Yeah,
paycheck
it's
is
important.
everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's got to be sort of satisfying and rewarding to see when you've put someone with a policy like that, and then it actually works for them.
And then
changes
it works
their
for
life.
them. Yeah. Life insurance is important too.
Yeah.
You don't really want to see that one come through because that means that somebody's lost a loved one.
The end, yeah.
But it's still, my youngest son got married a few years ago, and the first thing that we made him do, because he's in his 20s and men are indestructible at that.
At that age, for sure, they're superheroes.
Nothing can touch me. First thing we did for his new wife is we put a life insurance product in place. We made it better for him. It's a return of premium, so he gets all his money back at the end of 20 years.
That's great
so
new policy.
So then he can justify it, in his own mind. Okay, so I'm paying it, but I'm going to get it all
It's
back.
an investment.
Right. Protected
in a
my
sense.
wife and
Yeah.
did the right things.
Well, let me ask you the last question. We've all been talking about it, healthcare reform. Gaze into your crystal ball a little bit. A lot of the comments I've been getting are about how Florida is really sort of already separating themselves from the other carriers in terms of being on the exchange in all the counties in Florida. What do you think, benefit-wise, is going to separate Florida Blue when it comes to healthcare reform? Is it the network? Is it the prompt payment of medical bill? What do you think?
I think that Florida Blue brings a unique perspective to Florida. We're only here in Florida. We're
Right.
committed to not just the state of Florida, but the people who live and work here. And just the backbone of that company is great. And I can just tell you from personal experience, I mean, I'm licensed with a lot of different health insurance companies, and I like to sell Florida Blue.
Yeah.
My wife went through breast cancer 5 years ago. She would say, if she was here, that Blue Cross saved her life. They did everything that the doctors, the hospitals asked, every step of the way.
No objections.
No objections, no questions, you need to fill in this paperwork. Nothing. My son broke his leg, was in the hospital for a week, broke his femur, has a metal rod in it. Again, no questions, forms, anything. I think
That's patient service,
It's customer service.
Right.
Their slogan right now is in the pursuit of health, and I truly believe that they're committed to that. They're committed to us, to here in Florida. We live here, we work here. If you're going to call customer service, you're going to talk to somebody in Florida. It's nice to know.
It is, and Florida's largest physicians network as well doesn't hurt. So
Doesn't hurt at all.
You're never gonna get a call from somebody that says, "I can't believe I couldn't go to that doctor." It doesn't
Rarely
happen.
happens.
Well, thanks a lot for being here. What's the best way to get a hold of you? Cell phone is
The best way is my cell phone, 727-519-5612. I have it with me all the time. I don't come into the office every day. I could be out at a seminar, home show, visiting customers at the coffee shop at their house. So I'm not in the office every day, but my cell phone is with me all the time, and you'll get a hold of me, and I'll call you back.
He's here a lot, though. I see him here a lot. So he's I think he's always on the job. There's no question about that. Well, thank you for spending some time with us today.
My pleasure. It's been great.
Hope everyone got a lot out of this, and the rest of Andrew's digital profile information, email, and all this other contact information is right here on the page on a click through. And thanks again, and we'll see you next time on the next interview.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Great.